What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D with the MeidasTouch Network. So if you are not subscribed to me, following me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook Reels, please do so. I appreciate your support. So Donald Trump had a rally today in Las Vegas, Nevada. And never mind the fact that it was 100 degrees out there. He had people standing outside for hours, paying to get in and all of that. Never mind all of that. This rally was full of some of the craziest sound bites you have ever heard from Donald Trump. And that's saying a lot because I'm sure you've heard a lot. But there were so many, it's hard to choose one to talk about, but I think this one is the craziest. So he starts off by talking about his relationship to MIT. The only relationship we know of him having to MIT is that his uncle was a professor there, but that uncle died in 1985. So either Donald Trump is making up this story about talking to his uncle, or he's making up another person whose relationship he has to MIT. But I digress. So he talks about this relationship, and then he goes on this rant about batteries and boats and how you or I or him might have to choose being electrocuted on a sinking boat or being eaten by a shark. Check this out.
And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks.
Okay, so wait a second. If you guys don't realize, Donald Trump does this when he has no idea what he's talking about, when he doesn't know where he's going to go next. So he goes off on a tangent so that he could try to think about what he was actually going to say. So his tangent is that there's a lot of shark attacks going on, and these people are crazy. They don't even know why the sharks are attacking. I mean, they're trying to say the shark was just misunderstood who she was, but, it decimated a lot of people. And this lady's leg was cut off. And what? And look at the people behind him. Even they're just like, cult leader, he's rambling again, but whatever, make America great again. Let's go, Brandon, But so he goes off on this tangent, and then he finally thinks, okay, this is bombing. So let me just go back to this really awesome story about this question I was asking this very smart person who I know at MIT.
So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted, or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, nobody's ever asked me that question.
I like how Trump says this as if the really smart person that he's talking about that he knows from MIT is thinking, wow, that is such a very good question that no one's ever asked me. No, he's saying that because it's the dumbest question he's ever heard. First of all, Trump, if the boat is sinking, let's pretend for a second that boats right now don't have batteries, that only electric boats will have batteries. Because again, Donald Trump makes a lot of money off of the oil and gas industry. So he has to pretend that electric boats are going to just be sinking and electrocuting people. So let's pretend for a second that we've never heard of a battery being on a boat before. So Donald Trump is on this boat that starts to sink, and now the battery's engulfed with water, and he's going to be electrocuted. So let's pretend that he's not already electrocuted because, as he said, the water's already on the battery. So first of all, we're pretending that batteries don't have boats, and then we're going to pretend that he's not already electrocuted. So let's say he has a chance, he has this opportunity to jump out of the boat before it electrocutes him, or before it starts electrocuting whatever's going on or in the boat, right? First of all, if you jump out of the boat, you're still in the water that's being electrocuted. So you and the shark gets electrocuted, game over. But let's pretend you can jump into the water and not be electrocuted. Your fate is now still decided by the alligator who's in the water. So the smart person at MIT who you pretended to ask this question and the only reason he's pretending that he knows this smart person at MIT who he asked this very smart question to is because he knows that his audience doesn't dissect the things that he says the way that the rest of us do. He knows that his audience isn't smart enough to realize this is the most dumbest hypothetical anyone could ever think of. Like, first of all, people who are so against like electric vehicles because, you're going to run out of battery, those people probably run out of gas all the time too. Like, this is such a dumb take. Like, anyone sitting there nodding their head like, wow, what a question. Never thought of that. They're absolutely dumb. I'm sorry, but there's no other way to put it. Like, if you're sitting there thinking, wow, Donald Trump is so smart. Like, these electric boats, they could sink. And then you might be in a situation where you have to decide to jump overboard and get eaten by a shark or be electrocuted by the boat because, of course, batteries don't exist in boats yet. My God. My freaking goodness.
I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark. So we're going to end that. We're going to end it for boats. We're going to end it for trucks.
He said it himself. I think there's a lot of electric currents coming through that water. So if you jump off the boat in the water and choose the shark, you're going to be electrocuted before the shark eats you. And guess what? The shark will probably be electrocuted as well if he's 10 feet away from a boat that has this amazingly big battery that has never existed before. But the rant is all about the last part. We're going to end it for boats. We're going to end it for trucks. He's basically saying he's trying to stifle the process of electric cars and boats and trucks and things like that because we're in bed with oil and gas. That is the only reasons Republicans don't like electric vehicles. Like, what is wrong with them? What is wrong with them? Not a thing. Teslas have been around for years. Other electric vehicles have been around for years. We always talk about wanting to be on the cutting edge and wanting to do things before China. We're sitting here now allowing China to take the lead on these electric vehicles. Pretty soon, America will be the only place dependent on vehicles that use gas and oil. And that would be absolutely idiotic for our country. Period.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.